The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Today, we're breaking down the film from the Jets preseason opener against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Did Cade Klubnik play as well as many of us think? Joe Blewett will join us, and he will tell us what we need to know. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
We sitting in here, we excited as hell.
Now it's time to get to work. Are you a happy guy?
Oh my goodness, let's go!
I haven't felt joy talking about the Jets in a long time. When they announced it, I went, yeah! Jets, let's go! A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. It is indeed the Jake Asman Show presented by PrizePicks. This is our only live Jake Asman Show today because I got off the radio. I was on from 10 to 1 today. So if you want more Jets talk, certainly go back and listen to the Carlin podcast. Had the great Q-Tip on. I actually posted that interview on my own personal page. Q-Tip, of course, from the legendary hip-hop group Tribe Called Quest. He is a diehard, and I mean this, diehard Jet fan. We talk Jets and about his legendary career. So check out that interview if you're looking for more content. And speaking of content, the reason why there's only one Jake Asman Show today besides radio is that I have the Jets Collective coming up at 6 p.m. Eastern. So join me, Rich Cimini, and Brandon Tierney as we cover the latest with the Jets on the Jets Collective YouTube channel. So you're still getting 3 shows, but on 3 different platforms, which means we have no time to waste. We say hello to our guy, Joe Blewett from JetX. Joe, I'm ready to chub for club, baby. We got a lot to break down from the Jets season opening game against Tampa.
Yeah, exciting to watch new football and not the same season 1,000 times. So, yeah, Klubnik, Briggs, Mo Bamba. We got a lot to discuss.
We certainly do. Let me just start with the surprise of Geno not playing and Klubnik getting the start. Were you expecting more than just 2 drives from Klubnik once you learned Geno Smith was not going to be starting the game on Friday?
No, I think we've seen everything we need to know about Klubnik in 2 weeks of training camp. I think he's fine as a backup. What do you mean, dude? Yeah. It's I was expecting more, just because you look at all the other quarterbacks around the league, right? Like McVay playing Simpson for however many snaps he played, quite a few. Reed playing Nussmeier for quite a few snaps. I think Drew Allar played a lot. Mike McCarthy, all of these established veteran coaches, and they're playing their guys more. I don't know what more we need to see from Bailey Zappi or from Brady Cook. I think at this point, hey, let Klubnik play at least a quarter, 3-4 drives, a half, and kind of figure out what you have, because is he capable of the backup, And then I know you hit on it, the whole stuff with, I try to play everybody in even snap count, and you didn't, and the plan was for Klubnik to play with the backups anyway. So your excuse can't be that you didn't want him playing with the second string, because that was the plan regardless. So why not just let him play another at least drive or 2, 3, So it was wild that he came out as early as he did.
It really was. And again, I've talked about this all week. By now, everyone, I think, knows where I stand on this. Just another day in the world of Aaron Glenn and this coaching staff. But all right, let's actually get to the film, because our time is limited. And if you're watching the show live, click that like button and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Since we're only doing one show and it's an abbreviated one today, we don't have a daily raffle. But I can tell you that tomorrow on our shows, I'm going to be giving away a signed Vinny Testaverde jersey. So if you enter during this show by gifting a membership or super chat, you'll be in there when we raffle away this prize tomorrow across our shows. So still enter for a Vinny T jersey, and our new set of weekly prizes include a signed Chad Pennington full-sized helmet, a signed Darrelle Revis football, and a signed Ken O'Brien Jets helmet. So a lot of great prizes for Jet fans to win throughout the week on the show. Mr. Blewett, here we go. Our first 2026 Jet film review, preseason or not, it doesn't matter. Jets football, Klubnik out of the gun. Here we go. Blewett, take it away.
Yeah. We'll hit these pretty quick because we have an abbreviated show, so I'll be pretty abbreviated with this. Just give people a little taste of what was going on. And this was Klubnik's first completion in the NFL, so I wanted to highlight it. A little bit of an off-platform throw as he's being chased, rolling out away from his strength in his arm in terms of rolling left and being a righty. So I'll play it through first. You'll notice some things. Listen, it wasn't the most like diverse scheming or anything like that from either Frank Reich or from Aaron Glenn, but I do like the play design here. As I believe they rotate into a 3, so you got 3 high or one outside third, inside third, and then deep third to the bottom right here. And I believe they blitz 35, and then 53 is responsible for the curl to flat here. But what you'll see the motion does, watch the linebacker's eyes. Linebacker starts to see this motion come in. He peeks at AD Mitchell, and now he's thinking, okay, first play of the game. It's a run. He's motioning in to crack the DN, to crack the linebacker, whatever it may be. They then snap the ball, and it's a play action here. Linebacker gets sucked with the eyes inside. Isn't matching the outside break of Mason Taylor. They run a flat 7 concept, which after play action, the flat's going to be your first read here. So as soon as the flat's open, he's going to hit it for yak potential. Linebacker's out of position. Rotate into the 3, linebacker's eyes sucked inside, and then you have Mason Taylor wide open in the flat right there. So good play design by Frank Reich, tripping up that linebacker. You can see him peek right there. And then again, for Klubnik, hey, first, listen, the hardest throw in the NFL? No, definitely not. But given chase with a DB kind of right on your neck, throwing across your body away from your arm strength is a good play by him, and he does a good job of again delivering the ball in a situation where he can't even really get vertical. When you start to go on the move, whether it be right or left, ideally you can get a few steps vertical to kind of drive towards your targets, but he's drifting over his feet and he can't get vertical because of the chase, and he still delivers the ball to Mason Taylor. So good first completion, good play design by Frank Reich right there. So let's go next play. Let me share the entire screen here so make it easier on us both, Jake. Okay, let me just share it. If
you guys have questions throughout this, make sure you write them in, and we will definitely address them in real time. Again, if you're new to my show, I know we have a bunch of new viewers with the season being here. I think Joe Blewett's film reviews are as good as anyone out there, and we're lucky he's a Jet fan and follows this team extensively because we learn a lot every week when Joe hops on the show. So now, Joe, we can see your screen again. Let it rip for this next play.
Yeah, I appreciate that, dude. It's a labor of love. So I love the Asmaniac community, so I'm willing to put in some extra work every week to put these together. So dagger concept right here. So off the jump, he's going to read AD Mitchell vertically and just see if it's going to be an easy vertical shot. You're going to see him check AD Mitchell right off the jump. And then we're going to have a dagger, at least what looks like a dagger concept, where the number 2 here is going to push vertical. And most times in a dagger concept, it's a bender route. So what that means is if it's a cover 3 and the seam is open, he's going to continue this route up the seam. If the middle of the field becomes open, you bend it to the inside in a post, aka the bender route. Some offenses read the vertical, some offenses don't. It's completely dependent on the offense. Sometimes you can check it versus certain coverages, but so he's going to go 1 right here, potentially check the vertical, and he's going to hit Garrett Wilson on the dig route right here. So I'll watch it. I thought Cade was pretty solid in this game. I'm not going to say great. He left the pocket early on one. This throw was a little bit behind. And then there's another one he could have thrown the ball out of bounds. I believe he kind of ran out of bounds for a sack. And that ball is a little bit behind on this one. So again, check vertical. When he checks vertical on the bottom of the screen, you have 2 DBs over the top. He's not thinking AD is going to be open. So then his eyes get high to the high side of the screen right here. And he's seeing them in a quarters look, right? We got 4 high, 3 underneath. He's carrying a little bit right here. He's carrying a little bit right here in the hook because there's no flat threat right here. So again, he carries a little bit. But as soon as he sees this safety start to match this break, you should assume that this route's going to be open as long as you can fit it over this defensive back because he has that inside leverage on an outside DB. So steps up in the pocket, delivers the ball. Now, there are some people who are saying, oh, well, he shouldn't have led him because he could have led him into a hit defending this pass. I'm not of that mindset. Now, do you want to loft this ball? Let's rewind it to be fair to Cade Klubnik. Do you want to loft this ball so he can drive down on it? No, but you could still put it on him a little bit better than he does. So it's a good idea to put it on him. And if he just missed a little bit, it is what it is. I like the mindset, but maybe a little bit of general inaccuracy from Cade Klubnik, just putting a little bit too high and behind, because that's a throw that's that's a catch that's pretty tough to make for Garrett Wilson. So you want to see him make it a little bit easier on Garrett, because that's not always going to be Garrett. That's going to be AD. That's going to be Cooper. It's going to be whoever it may be. And look at the catch by Garrett, like just a ridiculously athletic catch. Again, not everybody's going to make that catch. So I understand, the safety was there. So again, I'm not saying loft it, but if you put it on his body, it's going to make it a lot easier for Garrett Wilson. Again, don't loft it, but there's still an opportunity for him to put a little bit more back shoulder. But good job getting to his third read, confidence. Good job by Klubnik. And the next one,
and that's third and long too, Joe, which I like. Like, he's not afraid to let it rip, show some confidence.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing with the starters for the first time. I was told by someone Cade Klubnik had 0 reps with the ones in any training camp practice until he got thrusted out there on Friday in an actual game scenario.
Which makes it all that more impressive, right? And I know he trained a little bit, I believe, with Garrett Wilson in Texas. I think he said that in an interview, or maybe Garrett did. So they have a little bit of chemistry, but still it's different in a game. Like he could have thought maybe, Garrett Wilson wasn't going to get out of the break as fast as he did. So you do have to give him some wiggle room in terms of the accuracy and knowing how to lead guys and stuff. But in general, ideally that ball is low and inside or right on the receiver, not making him make that type of acrobatic catch. So this is third down, third route. Let me play it first. It's a 3x1 and gun again. All the simple stuff. Don't really need to highlight so much of that. And what this probably is in terms of the reads here, he's probably going 1 to 2. And then Garrett Wilson has the 3 on the drag from the backside right here. And I like how quickly he processes this. So, just looking broadcast, it's like, okay, pretty easy completion. Garrett Wilson on a drag. Maybe could have put on a tiny bit better, but he puts it on his face. I think he's completely fine there. But I like how quickly he processes this, again, getting to his third read. So if he's reading Mason Taylor off the jump, which it looks like he is, you're not, and it looks like they cone Garrett Wilson, by the way. So if he takes this outside and vertical or outside at all, he has him. But because he drives inside quickly, now the safety is going to jump onto Garrett Wilson in that cone, and then he's going to poach from the backside, it seems like, which is basically he's just going to run the hash right here and look for anything deep in crossing. But initially reading Taylor, right? Got a linebacker on him, safety here. You're going to come off of that read pretty quickly, and then gets his eyes to AD Mitchell, and same thing, right? Guy inside, guy over the top. You're not really going to try to throw AD Mitchell on an inbreaker here, again, especially with the defender to the inside right there. So gets his eyes to his third read, bottom of his drop, see Garrett Wilson, put it on Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson gets the first down. So nothing overly complex in terms of the reads or anything like that there, but confidence from him and getting through his reads smoothly is awesome from Cade Klubnik. So I thought these were some of the better plays that he had. And again, he scrambled out of the pocket once too early. There was that one handoff where I think Brees went the opposite way. So again, miscommunication or not knowing the play call exactly. And then the one time he forced it to Garrett Wilson, but I understand why he forced it in that instance. I believe Garrett Wilson was his first read. He went through his second and third read. They weren't open. So he figured, hey, screw it. I have Garrett Wilson. I'm going to chuck the ball to Garrett Wilson.
It's a good plan, by the way. A lot of Jet quarterbacks haven't figured out, hey, when in doubt, throw it up to number 5.
Exactly. And the point of that too is like he thought Garrett Wilson was going to continue that route to the outside, and Garrett Wilson kind of geared down to then cut underneath of the defender most likely. And Cade thought he was going to continue that route. Again, that's like a chemistry, just knowing what your receiver is looking for type of deal. So I'm not going to kill him for that one. Do we want to hit? So we have a little bit of AZ, we have Bamba, we have some other guys. Want me to just kind of run through in chronological order?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's let it rip through a bunch of the highlights you have from this game. And again, for those tuning in, abbreviated show. However, if you do enter the raffle today, you'll be in the raffle for tomorrow when I'm going to be giving away a signed Vinny Testaverde jersey, a Vinny T jersey signed by the man himself. Joe Blewett won that prize once upon a time. You can see it right above him. It is in the background as he does the film review. All right, let's get to the next play here. What are we looking at in this one?
Yeah, so I just want to highlight AZ on two plays, and I was going to let I didn't put Bailey in here because I was going to let Sabo hit on Bailey, but apparently he called out sick because the heat that you put on us last week, Jake. My God,
what was it like to be the main character on Jets Twitter for a couple of days,
dude? Oh my God, yeah, you gave it, you passed the baton to him. I was just tagging those tweets and I was catching some strays. It felt like 100 accounts just dumped all over Sabo, which maybe he deserved a tiny bit, but nonetheless, AZ Thomas to the bottom. Again, I've been saying it since we did the film review on him earlier in the summer. To me, he's going to be the best corner on the Jets. Maybe it's Pons by the end of the season, but right now, honestly, if you're to tell me one rep with one corner, it's AZ. So I think he's currently the best corner on the Jets, which is speaking to his potential, but also maybe some of the lack of talent with some of the Jets corners. But nonetheless, right here. Pre-snap, and he's in man coverage on this receiver right here, and he has just really good pre-snap stance, shoulder width apart, nice and low, good knee bend, and you're going to see his eyes are low. And I say it all the time: you want to stare at the hips, you do not want to stare at the head. Head can fake you out. The hips do not lie. And I always get the Shakira comment in the comments, but it's the truth. So really good stance, really good patience from him right here to stay square, gets both hands on. And they disconnect a little bit because they're just like a natural push off because of momentum. But again, really good job staying square, getting both hands on, right? Making the receiver bow the route out. Now he doesn't want to get too aggressive and cut off the receiver here because he wants to cover vertical first. So get vertical. We have some hand fighting right here. He wants to get his arm over top of the receiver. Receiver wants to get his hand over the top of AZ. So they're hand fighting. And he does a really good job of not looking back for the ball until it's a proper time to do so, right? So he gets over top of the route. And once he really squeezes that route to the sideline and now he's starting to stack that route, that's when he looks back for the ball. Wraps with the upfield arm and is going to play the ball with the near arm, but the ball is too far inside. But still a very, very good press rep from AZ Thomas, who again is easily the best press guy on our team, and I would say is the best corner just in general. Let's see if there's anything to note here quick. Oh yeah, this is the play where people are going to get on me about this. So we have to differentiate between what a double team is. A double team, if a team is specifically sliding towards Bailey and there's two guys on them, okay, double team. If they're chipping Bailey pre-snap, double team. If Bailey is spiking inside and he happens to be found by two blockers because he's penetrating the B gap, 72 sets to Phillips. 72 gets hands on Phillips. Phillips rushes stalled, so now he looks to Bailey. So I'm not calling this a double team, even though he sees two blockers. But Glenn was a little bit more aggressive in this game, calling blitzes and rotations and disguising. So he blitzes Bailey off the edge here, or he blitzes Minka on the edge. Bailey spikes inside to hopefully draw two blockers as he does. Minka does a good job. Chop almost gets to the quarterback, but the ball is out. Really good coverage by AZ Thomas. On that one. This is the Will McDonald sack where Bailey does a good job holding his ground here. So I'll throw a little bit of Bailey in here as well. But bottom of the screen. Now, this is against backups. This isn't against, Ibuka and all these other guys on their team. So it would have been better to see them against some of the starters, but still a good rep from AZ. Relatively simple, but again, good pre-snap stance, square, hands-on, completely locks down that route right there. Again, getting hands-on, getting over top of the route. Good job by Brownlee in the top slot there as well. Everybody does a good job. And one other thing I want to point out here is Jets defenders passing guys off, Jake. I don't know how many times we saw this last season, but there are so many times where, okay, so pre-snap, right? We got man coverage. So we have man from Stevens on the one, man here. We have man here. We got man Sherwood on the running back and man here to the bottom. There were so many times last year where, so basically, again, Minka man, Minka and Sherwood man. When these two guys switch, so when he outflanks the tight end to the sideline, he becomes the 3 and he becomes the 2. So there'd be so many times where Minka would stay locked on the tight end. Sherwood would then think, okay, well, Minka now has the running back, and you'd have two defenders on one guy. The running back would be in the flat wide open. They would complete it for him and he'd be streaking up the sideline for a touchdown or a big gain. But they actually pass it off properly here, which is very impressive. So it looks like they had like a banjo call on that where they were switching it off. They switched it off properly right there. Brownlee does a good job. AZ does a good job. Good pass off between these two guys, leading to a sack on the quarterback. So good job by AZ, but good job by the rest of the coverage unit. Will McDonald kind of with like a hezzy step and works into the chest of the offensive lineman right here. left hand extension, then works through with the right hand, bull rushes him back. So good power right there. And Bailey does a decent job here, I would say. Not a great job by Bailey, but I would say a decent job. They either are they're either running a stunt here or just him getting bumped to the inside. He naturally just goes to the inside here. You'd like to ideally see him clear this arm a little bit better so he doesn't get pushed away from the quarterback. So a chop or a rip there, landing properly would be a little bit better from Bailey. But what I do like is that he held his ground even though he wasn't in the most ideal spot. So let's watch Bailey right here get knifed to the inside and does a good job maintaining his line and holding and showing some power there. But you could defeat the arm a little bit better. Will McDonald with the sack. So that's kind of a lot in one right there. I'm going to highlight next Membu, just one play of Membu and Tippmann with their pass protection.
Joe,
so
before you go to the next play,
good.
Why didn't you tell us that you and Shakira had a prior relationship together?
Yeah, I don't know if I would be sitting here because even if it was prior, we would have gotten a divorce potentially, and I would be getting alimony. And I don't know if I need to do any more JetX or Jake Asman show. I'll be
now I
on
get
a beach
why
somewhere.
You keep making all these hips don't lie references in your film reviews. It all makes sense now.
Yeah, that's again, like I don't know how else to say it. I phrase it the same way every time, and I'm always expecting the Shakira comment from those. But Membu and Tippmann right here, good pass protection. I forget if this is a stunt, but I'll pick it up quickly. So just watch the communication between these two guys right here. A linchpin to the Jets offensive line is their right guard, right tackle. Again, in my opinion, the Jets' best two offensive linemen going into this year, but they do a really good job of passing off this stunt. So we have a T, and the tackle right here is trying to draw attention from Tippmann right here and drag him into Membu. This guy from the outside is going to loop inside to the A gap, but they pass it off really, really well. So Membu quickly recognizes a stunt, right? Quickly recognizes a stunt, him looping inside. So he immediately steps to the inside. Let's see if he power steps. Yeah, he power steps back to the inside. And this is where you typically see him do like that overlap technique where basically he'd kind of tag Tippmann. I can't tell if he actually tags him here, but let's just, for benefit of the doubt, let's just say he tags him here. So what that does is basically lets Tippmann know, hey, we have some action here. I'm tagging you. I have nobody to my outside. I'm going to pick up 93. So tags them, overlap technique. Now you can leave this block to pick up the other defender who's looping to the inside. Both get picked up really, really well. So good overlap technique by Olu, and they are by Membu, and they both do a really good job in pass protection right there. So hell of a job by those two guys. I'm going to show one from Jordan Clark here as well. Who I didn't put a ton of his plays into my entire review, but he had a good 3 or 4 tackles where he just made tackles when he was supposed to, but that doesn't always happen. So, but this is a good recognition play, and he had some flashes in this game and even in last season. So he's right here in the slot. And their man coverage across the board right here. So we're going to see him have eyes on the 2. And he kind of notices that the number 2 is working outside to block the outside corner right here. And then his eyes immediately flash to the number 1 and sees the number 1 is running a tunnel screen. And then he just explodes forward and blows it up. So really good recognition by Jordan Clark. We'll play it first, and then we'll talk about it a little bit and just add some details. But that's a really good job by Jordan Clark with the recognition. Again, he immediately sees the block coming, checks again, sees the route, sees the block, checks the quarterback. Is it a fake? Are they pumping me? Nope. Quarterback looks like he's throwing the ball. Continue to explode forward. Meet him at the catch point. Blow up the play. Yeah, it's caught, but doesn't matter. But a hell of a play right there by Jordan Clark, who has been impressing me in limited reps, again, both last season and so far in this preseason. Another guy here, again, just throwing some random plays into here. We have a Nez Cooper with a stunt pickup.
He had the highest grade of any Jet player according to PFF. So I was very curious to see how you thought he played when watching it on the film.
Yeah, he did. He just did there weren't too many flashy plays. He had a really good combo block where he created some movement. This was the best play in my opinion on the stunt pickup, but he was just very technically sound and disciplined. So it was a very good outing for Nez Cooper. So you're hoping he could build upon that. But there's a reason. I think at Miami he only allowed it was either 0 sacks or 1 sack all of last year. So he's pretty good in pass protection. He needs a little bit of work in the run game in terms of just like hand placement, leverage, and things like that. But overall, it was a very good outing from Inez Cooper. So Inez Cooper, number 72, your right guard. Let's watch him. It's a really good stunt pickup by him. And again, a lot of stunts is like a feel thing. Is a guy completely working through your chest? Is he bull rushing me? Why is he lagging? So now we have an ET stunt. Last time we had a TE. So the E part of the stunt is going to try to push forward, cut across the right tackle's face, pull the right tackle into the right guard, and then open up the D tackle right here to loop around for the easy sack. But what you're going to notice is just Inez Cooper's just innate like feel of a stunt. So he feels the pressure from the 3-tech, but he's noticing like, hey, he's not fully working into me. He's not really bull rushing me. Something's going on here. So he immediately flashes his eyes to the outside as he feels kind of, again, this defender not rushing him completely. Eyes flash before it's there, picks up the stunt really, really well. So again, really good feel by him on that stunt, picking up that stunt, standing up 57 right there. And obviously Cook scrambles out, so he can't really help much after that. But it's a very, very good stunt pickup by him. So hats off to Inez Cooper in this game. I just wanted to throw at least one play of him. I have 2 more of Briggs, and I got 4 of Bamba if we want to do Bamba after. But I'll show some.
Hell yeah, we're not going to not do Bamba Island.
Okay, yeah. I'm running through these pretty quickly on purpose. So, Briggs, I don't know if you have a feel on it, Jake, or if you've talked about it. I don't know why Briggs is playing so deep into some of these games when he's kind of like, I get he's only a third-year defensive lineman, but he probably has like the most potential on the defensive line. I think it's between him and Sweat. But he flashed a ton last year and was very good towards the end of the season. And even
he's had
the
a good
beginning of the
camp
season.
too, Joe.
Yeah, so I don't know why he's playing like the third quarter, whatever it was. He was playing pretty damn late. So he's playing with like Valentine and McGregor and Maui Noah. I don't know why he needs the reps, but here we are. Maybe he's a third-year player and they're figuring, hey, why not give him reps? But
maybe they should give the rookie quarterback, who might be the backup quarterback week 1. Maybe they should use that same philosophy with him. But I digress.
Yeah. That would make some sense. Again, I know I knew you had to have hammered him on that, so I didn't expect any less. It just does not make sense for him to play 7 reps. I was appalled when he came out when he did.
I really in the stadium like, really? That's it? And like the explanation after the game, I think makes it so much worse. Like it was so bad. It was as bad of an answer as Glenn has given, which is saying something.
Yeah. It didn't make a lot of sense. Now, the only credit I can give to Glenn in this game, if you're trying to be a Glenn positor, a Glenn truther, whatever you want to say, is I don't think they had a penalty when the starters were in. I think all the penalties came in the second half, so that's a positive. And then the one play I showed of guys actually passing off routes properly, steps in the right direction. So some negative, some positive from Glenn. 3-tech right here from Briggs. He just works into the right guard here with a bull rush. The ball is out really quick at a pistol right here from the quarterback, but Briggs is a super effective rusher. He was really brought in from Cleveland to be a run defender, but his pass rush was even better than his run defense last year. But he's a very well-rounded player. Snap timing is very good right there. You can see he has some explosion off the ball. He's the first one off the ball. Good leverage into contact, gets the right hand inside, runs through the hands, gets good extension with the right arm, right? And then he uses the forklift with the left. So right hand, again, creating that knockback. And then you have the left hand quite literally lifting up the wrist. Now he has no strong point of contact, right? So you're bull rushing through his chest, left arm on the back, really no meaningful point of contact with that hand. And then your right hand is literally lifted off of Briggs. So there's no way for him to anchor down here. Then transitions, right? So right hand into left hand, because now he need to flatten and get to the quarterback, keeps contact with the left hand, gets in the quarterback's lap, would have been a sack, but the ball is out immediately. But a very good rush right there by Briggs. Next play in the run game. Again, we just talked about his diversity, both run game and the pass game. This one's the run game. So he's right here as a 1-tech, blowing up the run on a combo block. So again, very stout in the run game as well. Good hand usage. Comes off a little bit more aggressively here. I forget exactly what the down and distance was here, but it was a run set. So he's being a little bit more aggressive versus the combo block. He's kind of spiking it. So he's kind of pushing vertical so they can't either get good hands on him, but takes on one guy, right? So ideally when we take on a combo block, we could spike it and really duck our head here, or we can spike it and kind of turn our body away from one blocker, right? Because if we keep our shoulders square and we allow both of these offensive linemen to get hands on our chest, it's not going to be good for us. We're going to get moved off our spot. So ideally, in most combo blocks, you're going to drop the left knee here away from this offensive player and pull the shoulder away so he can't get a meaningful point of contact on the chest. So turn himself inside to avoid the hand. Elbow nice and tight into working into that offensive lineman who has really good leverage, but Briggs is just so strong. Stands him up. He gets moved back, initial point of contact here. He gets moved back an inch, 2 inches here versus two 300-plus pound offensive linemen. Works to his left, sees the running back taking it more vertical. Gets extension, right? So he can cross his face, gets that extension, crosses the face, gets involved in the tackle. Very good deconstruction of the block and taking on a combo block for his stuff in the red zone. So next, unless we don't have any questions or anything like that to throw in here, we got 4 plays of Bamba time. Are you ready for Bamba time?
I do have some praise for you. Peter Castro says, Blewett blows other guests away. Very knowledgeable and knows what he's talking about. M123 writes in, Joe is great, and I appreciate the arrow thingy because I have no clue what's happening. I want to give some love to Jet fan since birth. It goes, just want to say that was a great interview with the legendary Q-Tip, one of my favorite interviews you've done. Congratulations. Thank you, the Jet fan. Again, the Q-Tip interview is live on the channel for those who didn't watch it on the radio when I was on from 10 to 1 today on ESPN New York. He is, you hear about celebrity Jet fans. When I tell you Q-Tip is as big of a Jet fan as anyone, and a positive one at that, it's true. And you know what I appreciate about him and Method Man for that matter? Here's how I know Method Man's a legit Jet fan. I'm at this game this past Friday night, and sitting 2 rows behind me is Method Man. Anyone who's going to a Jet Bucks preseason game in August, coming off a 3-win Jet season, you're a real Jet fan in my book. So shout out to both Q-Tip and Method Man representing the Jets. This super chat is from Doc Jet Fan, who says, where else can a Jet fan watch an expert review of the all-22 preseason game? Answer nowhere. Sincere thanks for all you do. Hashtag best show on YouTube. That's why we have Joe Blewett on the program, because no one could break it down quite like this man.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Doc, and everybody else for the comments in the chat. Again, it's a grind because there's definitely an extra few hours put into my work each week to come on the show and do this. So, I don't get just to show up like Sabo and just talk. I gotta do film breakdowns. So I definitely put in a lot of work as a guest, no doubt. So I gotta dump on Sabo a little bit because it's all in good fun. So Bamba, we'll do 4 of Bamba. 3 of them are good. Maybe 3.5 are good. So we'll talk about it. 1 is good too. I think the second play is a little bit more iffy, which I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. But
before you start, did you know who Mo Bamba was before you watched this game on Friday?
0 clue. Did you know who Bamba was?
No, I had no idea who this guy was.
Okay.
I was like, who's number 38 who looks like Darrell Revis out there?
Dude, yeah, he was really good. Again, -1 play, which we'll discuss. I think that's the second play I'm going to break down. But he did a really good job in off coverage, and I'll just highlight it here. You see some of the plays he made, and you listen to him in the post game press conference or interview, whatever it was, and he ran like a 4.28, and it makes sense. And he's like, "Oh yeah, my broad jump is crazy. I was a track athlete." And watching these plays, it's like, yes, it is very evident that his track speed explosion translates to the football field. And he's a 25-year-old rookie, but you never know. You never know if he makes the roster. I'm kind of thinking at this point, VJ Payne goes on the IR or some type of injury list, whichever one you want to put him on. And I think that last roster spot's going to be between Bamba, a 5th linebacker, and probably Beck. Like that's my read on how the Jets roster is going to turn up. So he's right here on the bottom of the screen with really good off man, good patience right here. Let's watch it and then we'll talk about it a little bit. But an excellent game from Bamba. So really good pass breakup on this play, and he does a good job of just reading the receiver. Right, we have to read receivers' body languages when we're getting into a back pedal or in press or whatever it may be. So. He's in off coverage on 17, and he kind of just motors back, which is not like a full back pedal, but he's kind of just inching backwards. So he starts to inch backwards. But if you notice, the receiver's shoulders come up very early, and we talk about this all the time, Jake. But it's just I have to bring it up because it's very true. We talk about drive phase when we're evaluating guys. When his shoulders are down like this and you're a DB, if he continues to run with his shoulders down like this, you're thinking vertical, right? Because you're not going to break like this necessarily. So this is indicating vertical. But when you're reading receivers and the shoulders start to come up and their body comes up and their helmet comes up, that indicates that typically it's going to be a break, unless it's a double move, unless it's something, whatever it may be. But typically shoulders up means break is coming. So he doesn't get into a full back pedal. He just kind of motors back really, really patiently. He sees the break coming. He sees that left foot come out of the receiver, instantly matches. And then what I love about this too is the angle he takes. And again, just we'll notice the explosion here. Like that explosion out of that break is very, very good from Bamba. And you don't want to take an angle that's too aggressive. Ideally, we take an angle to the upfield shoulder. And we'll talk about it maybe next time, or is he going to do it this time? He plays the ball very well too. So ideally what you want to do is with the upfield shoulder, which is his left or his upfield arm with the left arm, you're going to wrap the hip or the shoulder. And then when you wrap the hip or the shoulder, what you're doing is you're going to pull on that hip or shoulder, and you're with that, when you do that, you pull the receiver away from the catch point, right? So receivers here going for the ball, and you pull the hip or the shoulder away. You're quite literally turning him away from the catch point. And when you do that, what's the old saying? One arm is longer than two, right? So if I take my left arm, pull the hip, and pull that towards me and extend my right, now my right arm is longer, while effectively also pulling the receiver away from the catch point. So he does that very, very well. Stabs through the hands. Actually, maybe it's not through the hands, but he stabs at the hands. And then I think this one was labeled a PD, but regardless, he plays it very well. Yeah, it's a PD. So hell of a job, patience, explosive break, playing the ball very, very well right there by Mo Bamba. I don't know. It's not Mo Bamba. It's like there's a Y in there. Maury Bamba, yeah. Okay, so this is the one where it's not the best. I don't love his alignment right here pre-snap. We'll play it first, and you'll just see what I'm talking about. If this is a well-timed ball or an on-target ball, he's beat for a touchdown, right? So we give him credit for making up, the makeup speed and then playing through the hands, getting the PD. But overall, again, maybe I'm a little bit nitpicky, but would I say this is a positive, like overall positive or negative? If you had to be super simplistic, I would say negative, because regular season you're probably beat for a touchdown here, but I do like the makeup. But with that being said, I want to see a little bit different of a pre-snap alignment. So most times, not saying every time, 3-by-1, they're going to motion into a 3-by-1 here. Most times they're going to read the top first here, unless this is like some superstar wide receiver and they're just going to isolate him and run a slant or fade, whatever it may be. Again, most times they're going to read the top 1, 2, 3, whatever it may be. And then this is going to be a slant, a drag, a crosser on the backside of the 3-by-1 concept. That's typically what you see. So when you get into the red zone, I like DBs to play it. And again, what are his coaches telling him? I don't know. I'm just talking about what I've seen in the past and preferences and things like that. I like to see DBs at this point choke up to the inside right here and make it a fade until it's not. Make him cross your face on a slant, make him cross your face on a drag, whatever it may be. And if it is a fade is a very, very low percentage catch or very low completed ball anyway. So I don't like the leverage and the alignment pre-snap, giving him some room, right? The ball is at the 5-yard line here. Choke up and inch inside right here. So past that, receivers, let's see what kind of release he uses. It almost uses like a dead leg or like a hop step right there. But Mo Bamba he gets a little bit hoppy, right? Feet hop right there. And again, I don't like the pre-snap alignment. Beat across his face, should be a touchdown. It's not because of the bad throw. And then Bamba's makeup speed, again, stabs through the hands, gets the PD. So I'll give it like a half good play, a quarter good play, good makeup. Not the best start though. 2 more plays left. Let's see. Pass breakup. Okay. Bottom of the screen here. This one's relatively simple, I believe. But let's just take a peek really quickly. So bottom against this receiver in man coverage, does a good job here again with the PD. So this is the 3rd out of 4 that he had, or I think he might have only been labeled with 3 at the end of the day, but good job by him staying patient off the line. Right, nice and low pre-snap stance. Right, good knee bend, hands at about the knee level, shoulder width apart. Now, this could be one of two things. He can either throw this hand as a fake, or he thinks the receiver is going to be there sooner, so he goes the punch, but then he pulls it away because the receiver's not there. Regardless, hand lands, gets over top of the receiver. Right, feels the receiver gearing down. Eyes immediately flash to the inside. Now, when the eyes flash inside, he sees the quarterback looking his way. Feels the receiver kind of lagging there, so he's expecting a short breaking inside route, matches the break, again, plays the angle properly to the upfield shoulder, wrap with the left arm, wrap with the left arm, stab through with the right arm right there. Excellent job by him. And then one thing I want to note too is the feet coming off the ball. So he uses what we call a kick step. So a lot of times when corners don't use that kick step, which is this initial right step right here, when they don't do that, guys tend to jump split. Their weight gets on their heels because naturally when a receiver is working at you, you kind of backpedal and you're getting your weight getting your heels. You kind of jump split and get off balance. But when you do that kick step right there, it like thwarts you or kind of fights your body wanting to get on your heels. So good kick step right there to maintain balance, still forward lean, good patience, match the break to the upfield shoulder, play through the ball or play through the hands to the ball, bang, pass deflection. Last play is the best play of Bamba, in my opinion. So there's a lot to it. There's a little bit more to this one. So bottom of the screen, they eventually rotate into a cover 3. Belton's right here. He rotates into the deep third. I think it's a 3 sky. So the deep safety rotates into the curl to flat. And then this DB would be the outside third. So, but we're going to watch Bamba here specifically. He's the outside third in a quarters or not a quarters in a cover 3. So Bamba does a really good job of reading the quarterback here. And again, there's a couple layers to this. So comes off the ball, gets into a backpedal, right? He gets more into like that shuffle technique. So he wants to maintain outside leverage on this receiver for 2 reasons. One, it's to read the quarter. It's really for one reason. It's to both read the quarterback and to, in your peripheral vision, read the receiver, right? So he's reading the quarterback, but he's also noticing, again, if he does have his peripheral vision on the receiver, what do we see with the receiver's shoulders, right? Shoulders up, break is coming soon. So you have receivers shoulders up, break coming soon, plus quarterback taking a short drop. So you have a quarterback with a short drop looking at you with the receiver's shoulders up, all indicators that the break is coming soon for the receiver. So he plays it patiently, right? Nice and patient feet. He's not getting overzealous, really smooth and patient kind of shuffle right there. Again, peripheral vision, reading that receiver, reading the drop. If you see this as a receiver or as a DB, expect that break. He does expect it. Breaks, cuts off the angle, plays through the hands. And this might be the one where he didn't get the PD. Like technically, maybe his hand didn't hit it, but he can test the catch points. So very, very good job in cover 3 right there, reading all of that together, breaking up that play. So expedited Bamba review, expedited Briggs, McDonald, everybody else. But that is it.
Well done, ladies and gentlemen. Joe Blewett, outstanding job by him. We're going to get to your calls. There's a couple of you on hold. And again, if you're just tuning in, the Jets Collective is live tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern time. But first, let's talk about our sponsor, Hexclad Barbecue Products, baby. Mine are on the way. I can't wait. If you're a barbecuer, if you're going to grill, you're going to want to check out some Hexclad Barbecue Products. The barbecue grill pan will let you cook vegetables, seafood, fish kebabs, and all those smaller foods without losing half your dinner through the grill grates. Hexclad brings its hybrid technology outdoors, combining stainless steel searing power, cast iron durability, and non-stick convenience. You still get that smoky grill flavor and great sear, but with way less sticking, scraping, and cleanup afterward. Everything is built to make grilling easier, which is what you want when you're firing up the grill for the remainder of summer. If you're grilling all summer, upgrade your setup right now. Hexclad.com/Asman. Links in the description. Again, hexclad.com/Asman. Make sure to let them know that the Jake Asman Show sent you. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Blewett is my guest. We are going to get into your calls. But first, a word from our sponsors. The Jake Asman Show is brought to you by PrizePicks. Check out PrizePicks right now. If you're a sports fan, they have something for everyone, especially if you're one of my listeners and you're gearing up for the upcoming Jets season. For player picks on PrizePicks, you just pick a player you like and you go more or less on a few of their stats. Check out some of the numbers they have for some of your favorite Jet players. Geno Smith, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, Omar Cooper Jr., Kenyon Sadiq, and many more. PrizePicks should be your go-to. And check out their new offer right now. Play your first $5 and get $150 in lineups if you win. All you need to do is sign up and use that code HMA. That's PrizePicks code HMA. Download the app now or click the link in the description to download the PrizePicks app today.
The biggest contest we've ever seen.
Seriously, what's the guarantee?
They're still talking about it.
I think it's time to put the rumors to rest.
Showtime.
$30 million.
$30 million?
$30 million? $30 million?
That's $30 million guaranteed. 3 contests, multiple ways to win, no rate. Entry starting at $1,000. Enter in Nevada, played from anywhere.
We're out in Vegas next week. We'll be signing up for the Circa Survivor. Any Asmaniacs who live in Vegas or are making the trip, reach out. Got to connect with a bunch of you last year. Always look forward to it. Circasports.com for all the info on each of these contests. Let me get to a couple super chats again. Short show. Jets Collective is live at 6. If you enter the raffle today, it will be for tomorrow when I give away a signed Vinny T jersey. Thank you to Jay Perez for becoming a channel member and also purchasing 2 raffle tickets with this $10 super chat. D. Mitty says, Chubb for club. So let me follow up on this Chubb for club with a real question for you. Based on what you saw, and let's assume he plays again against the Steelers now on Friday, how comfortable are you with Klubnik actually being the backup week 1 against the Titans? I can't hear you, Joe. Did you mute yourself?
Yep, dog was barking. Perfect, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a yappy dog, so I try to negate that as much as I can. But with Club, like, I don't know if he's gonna have enough reps, right? That's the problem. So for me, I think you could look at it from 2 different perspectives. Like for me, if shit hits the fan, then fine, play him because it's the most entertaining thing. If I'm Aaron Glenn though, I have to get a backup, right? Like just for, because Klubnik may be better than any of the free agents the Jets can get or anybody they can trade for. Like his ceiling, he may outperform those guys, but it can also go horrifically wrong as well. So I think they want to give him every opportunity to prove himself, but that's kind of the problem I have with not only playing with 7 reps, right? Like you'd think you'd want to see him a ton in the next 3 games, and they only played him 7 reps. So if he continues to play like he did, then yes, he's definitely on like a good trajectory to being a decent backup, but it was only 7 reps, right? So how many reps does he need for me to be confident? Quite a few more, at least another, 3 quarters of snaps, 4 quarters of snaps in the next 2 games. So we'll see exactly what happens. I still think that a vet's going to come in here, and maybe he's not even the 2, maybe Andy Dalton's the 3 or something like that. But so from my perspective, yeah, sure, ride it out. It'll be fun from not my perspective. And if I'm Aaron Glenn, I want to save my job. So maybe flip a 6 for a 7th for Andy Dalton.
I could see it, but maybe Aaron Glenn, who has no feel for the quarterback position, believes in Cade Klubnik, and he's making his bet if it doesn't work out. There's no doubt about that. Ozzy Fuller's in the raffle for 1. Thank you, Tenacious S, who became a member in the raffle for 1. And I want to give some love to someone who entered the raffle via Venmo. 4 raffle entries for our guy, Bill Font. Let's go. Jets, Jets. Woo! Other super chats I want to hit. Nate, I'm going to avoid yours because Nick Shine's got a big announcement related to that at the start of his show tonight. But thank you for the super chat. This one I am going to address, though, because it's from 6 Rings, who's a fool. He has changed his name to Tom Brady 7 Rings. Wonderful. Good for you. He says from 2022 to 2025, there are 13 players that have more yards and touchdowns than Garrett Wilson. Is 911 average over 4 years? So he's saying Garrett has averaged 911 yards over 4 years. Why do you think he has not hit top 10? Well, because can you name the 9 quarterbacks that Garrett Wilson has caught passes from? Tom Brady, 7 rings? I can. Aaron Rodgers, Zach Wilson, Joe Flacco, Mike White, Trevor Siemian, Tim Boyle, Tyrod Taylor, Justin Fields, Chris Streveler. Oh, I can name all of them. You probably can't because you're not watching games. You're just trying to troll Jet fans. So here's what I would like to say to you, Tom Brady, 7 rings. Get lost. Goodbye. See you later. And don't come back.
Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it.
Also, for the record, I have no idea if that 911 average includes last year where Garrett Wilson's season was limited to just 7 games before he missed the rest of the year?
I think it has to, because he's been over 1,000 yards each of the last few years, minus Yeah, over the last 4 years. So he had so minus this past year, he was 1,100 rookie, 1,042, 1,100 again in year 3, with the quarterbacks you just named, which is a horrific list. So, he averages about 1,100 yards, and last year he was on pace for about like 1,200 yards.
He was on pace for
10
his
plus
best year
touchdowns.
ever.
Yeah. 12 touchdowns. I think it was like 1,200 yards last year if he kept playing at that pace. So sure, when you factor in a guy getting injured after week 4 or 5, whatever it was, and you only have a 4-year sample size, of course it doesn't look that good. But yeah, Garrett Wilson's somewhere on like the 8 to 15 range, somewhere around there, I would say, but with the potential to be, in my opinion, a top 5 guy with just how athletic he is. So that's a really dumb comment.
NYC restaurant guy started off with some of our calls. Hello, NYC.
How we doing, guys? Real quick, I just needed to, mostly from yesterday when you had.
Oh, no. NYC, are we losing you? NYC. Do we need a tech man?
When a caller sounds like shit and the show's about to split, you need some tech support, call Beast. Bring on the flabby tits. Beast Maker.
He's going to have to do, if he's using a phone, get the power button, hit the restart button, and wait 10 seconds, restart everything, and then come on back. Thank you, and have a blessed day. Now, back to Joe Blewett and DJ Asman. Take it away, boys. Rejected. Sorry.
Hopefully that works for NYC restaurant guy. In the meantime, let's continue with your calls. Leader of Jets is next. Hello, Leader.
Hey, Jake, happy Tuesday. Joe, thank you very much for your insightful, analysis.
No problem.
I love that Beast's recommendation is restart your phone. That guy is sharp. He's really good, Jake, so thank you for always sharing him.
That's why I have a tech guy, Leader of Jets. You wouldn't understand.
Yes, he's working overtime. He's good. Joe, I'd like to hear your thoughts on Omar Cooper and who's the right guard or the new left guard? Parham, the guy that we got from Oakland. He's an unknown to me. Obviously, Omar Cooper is as well. There's a little bit of concern when he finally got the ball in the preseason game. He actually moved kind of well, but everything with Isaiah Williams jumping him, there's obviously concern as a first-round receiver.
Yeah, it could just be Isaiah Williams having a good camp and all of that, right? And having some trust in or him having some connection with the staff that Omar Cooper hasn't necessarily established yet. But with Cooper, like he was a little bit raw coming out of Indiana, right? So wasn't the most developed route run in the world. And look at his offense too, like how RPO heavy and stuff it was. So it was always going to take him a little bit, in my opinion, to get used to an NFL system. So I wouldn't put too much stock. Like I don't think his stock is down or anything like that. He's pretty much on the developmental curve I expected. Now I didn't necessarily expect Isaiah Williams to jump him, but we don't know what it's going to be like week 1 or anything like that. Now, in terms of the game, there really wasn't much from Cooper. He had one 15-yard dig or whatever it was, but it was versus off coverage, and he ran for some extra yards after that. He had like a 5-yard out, so there really wasn't much to it. But I'm not concerned with Omar Cooper. I expect it to be a little bit of a slow burn, at least at the start. So. And then what you said, the new left guard Parham. I think his ranking on Brandon. Did you do the Brandon Thorne thing the other day, Jake, with like the offensive line rankings and talking about those guys? And you might have brought it up, but
I follow Thorne. He's good.
Yeah, he had him ranked as the 28th best left guard in the league, and I'm not buying that. When I watch Parham, and it's hard to quantify, right? Because I don't watch 32 left guards in the league. I just don't have the time to do it. But when I'm watching Parham, I think he might get I think he gets the treatment of, oh, you're on the Raiders offensive line. The Raiders were bad, so that means you also suck, which I don't think that's true. I think he was their best offensive lineman last year, and I think he's perfully average. Like, I don't think he's great.
Ago, he was very good, at least how he graded out.
Yeah,
perfectly average works for me.
Perfectly average, like a master of none, but a jack of all trades. He's not going to have the highs that John Simpson has, but not the lows that John Simpson has either, with the penalties and just some of the blown plays. So I think he's like the 16th, 17th best left guard in the league. And I think they got him at a good price. So I actually like Parham quite a bit more than I would say the Jets fan consensus.
Yeah, I've reserved much thoughts on him because I just don't know anything. But it's nice to hear that you still have some optimism about.
Oregon Jet says touching your chin doesn't make you smart.
Makes you inquisitive.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to learn. These people, your chat could take some notes from me as well as Joe. It's nice to hear, that you were still positive on Cooper. I know he didn't do much, but when he did have the ball, I did like the way he moved. It's good yards after catch. That's all I got, Jake. Joe, where do you get your skills, I guess? Did you coach football? Did you play football? What's your deal?
Yeah, I played in high school, and then I started talking about the Jets for Jet Nation, and I just started to get a little bit annoyed about being like super shallow in my evaluations, and I just went to like coaching clinics and paid for courses and all that stuff. So it's a lot of going to coaching clinics and like watching hour breakdowns and stuff online from like offensive line coaches, and I also did some stuff with Marcus Coleman and Eric McMillan where like they walked me through film and stuff for corners. So Marcus Coleman actually taught me a lot about like receivers and corners.
He's a former Jet, no? Marcus Coleman.
Yep.
I don't know McMillan, but Marcus Coleman, I reckon. You should take notes here, Jake. I don't see you writing anything down.
Peacebreaker says, "Go away, leader of skid marks. You're a first-class blowhard."
I know how to pick them, okay? Also, Jake, I checked my mailbox. I didn't have any hex-clad pots or pans. Nothing there yet. Is that coming?
Why would I send you hex-clad items? You should support the sponsor by purchasing your own.
I'll make a promotional video.
They're trying to get people to want to buy their products.
Maybe Beast and I can collab. Have you considered that?
How would you like a first-class ticket to the emergency room 911? That stands for DDT.
Tell him, Beast.
911 stands for DDT.
That's right, son. The fabulous Freebird way. You know why? Because you want to take a trip with me? Come on. Let's take a trip together.
Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go, Beast?
You're coming with me to Bad Street, USA.
Send him the poll, Beast. Send him.
I saw Beast.
How you do it right here. Boys, pay attention. Closely. This is what's going to happen to you, son.
Joe's above this sort of stuff. Don't subject Joe to Beast. Did you see the analysis he gave? It's too professional. I came here prepared. Beast is literally doing wrestling moves to a pillow. What are we doing here?
It is good 4-minute suplex, though.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Can you break this down? Can you break this film down?
There was good whip on that suplex. So
can we get that again? Can we get that again, Beast, in slow motion?
You know what that is? That's the DDT. That's 911.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Reviewing the film on that was not a DDT. That was a suplex. I think Beast knows the difference. So
interesting, very interesting. More calls right now before we wrap this up. Jets Jesus, I see you're there, but I don't see a camera. So there we go. We turned it on. Hello, Mr. Jets Jesus.
Hey, sorry I was eating, so I figured I would save you guys from watching me eat while you were waiting for me to come in. Hope everyone's doing well. It's been a while since I got to call in, and I think it's my first call with Joe.
Jet Jesus, I was concerned that you left us, and that wouldn't be good for the Jet upcoming season.
Nope, not at all. And I just got my payment for a semi-pro ball, so that usually goes to supporting different content creators. So I'll be ringing up my Patreon and excited for the season. Although I'm keeping it in check. I'm still at, I think, 4 wins and max 6, but I'm thinking more 4. So I'm keeping that right where it's at, not going to where I went last season and getting too high.
Wow, I'm at 6 right now. You're 2 less than me. People say I'm negative. I love it.
Feel like I'm realistic.
You might be. I could definitely see this team winning 4 games. It would not surprise me at all.
It's a matter of like, a lot of it for me is going through the schedule and looking like what the opponents look like and how, and the history of how the team has played, especially with this, with the coaching staff that we're aware of, which is mostly just the head coach. And yeah, it's tough for me to being as positive as I can, 6 wins, but after that, I don't know. It's tough for me to do that, and 4 is what it seems like. All right, Joe, we'll utilize your expertise. I always appreciate your film breakdown. Is one of my favorite things that Jake has on with his guests, and you're a guy I always appreciate when you're on, so thank you. Leader of Jets actually jumped ahead of the question that I had for you because I was curious about your background. So I don't know. I guess I'll just hop in and pick your brain. What's your thoughts on the safety situation right now? Do we think Belton is going to get Cisco out of the way?
Yeah, well, Cisco played at first, right? This game, I think he lined up with Minka. So it seems like they want to move Minka around quite a bit. So it might be game plan specific, where in one instance, if they want him in the box, they'll play Cisco high. But if it's more of a vertical passing team, they'll put Minka high and then Belton low. But I think that's your 3 rotation right there. And I think there's a sneaky chance of Brownlee actually playing some like sub linebacker, strong safety type of role too. I think he did that a little bit in this game. So that's a possibility as well. But it seems like Malachi Moore is pretty clearly the 4th. And I don't think VJ Payne makes the team, unfortunately. He's probably on the practice squad.
And Clark seems like he might sneak in there and put some pressure a little bit too, or is that a kind of a long shot and we're just looking at preseason stuff? Yeah,
if you're just talking like squarely on film and stuff, he was good last preseason. When he came in last season, he actually made an impact, and then this last game he was pretty damn good. So could Moore lose his spot for Clark if it's just based on what you're doing on at least film in the preseason? Then I would put him over him. So
cool. And I know we're happy that Sweat is coming back from his injury and that type of stuff. But what'd you see of Darrell Jackson in the game? Did you like what that was? And sorry if I'm asking questions that you already covered. I missed the beginning of the show. I got to go back and watch.
Yeah, no, we didn't talk about Jackson. That was one guy I would say he's a little bit disappointing. He didn't really make a big impact. I'm not sure what he graded out as or anything like that, but he's a mammoth of a man, and he's very strong, and he's a very big wingspan, but he looks just like Florida State, he's quite unathletic. And you saw it pop up quite a few, again, relative, right? I don't want somebody after being like, oh, well, you're a 180-pound white guy calling this dude unathletic. I get it. But relative to his peers, he just moves like he's in quicksand sometimes. And I wasn't overly impressed with Jackson. There was a lot of positives to take away from this game. I would say Jackson, limited reps, limited opportunities, all that. But when I did see him, I was not impressed by Jackson in this game.
Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Last couple calls. Let's see if we can squeeze this guy on after his internet crapped out. NYC restaurant guy, take 2. Hello, NYC.
Sorry about that. Yeah, on Wi-Fi now, so it should be good. I'll be quick. I have 2 things, kind of two vents for you. One, I don't understand, for such a hopeless fan base, how do we have Frankie V and Gary yesterday? I was out of my mind listening to them say that we shouldn't go get a veteran quarterback because Cade Klubnik threw 7 passes surrounded by starters against second and third stringers in the first preseason game. It is so unbelievable. You could count on one hand day 3 quarterbacks that actually end up being good. And we've seen him play 10 plays, 15 plays. And we're like, oh no, we don't need a veteran. He's going to take Gino's job. Frankie V saying it should have been a competition. You're going to sign Smith as a 31-year-old and say you're going to compete with a 4th round rookie because we want to make you work harder. That's the stupidity that makes us the Jets. That's the decisions they've actually made in the past that have made us suck. It was obvious that Justin Fields needed to be competition because he's never proved anything. And he's not a great, never had, if you don't have fantasy football, no one would ever say Justin Fields was a good quarterback. Geno Smith has actually had some years where he looked decent. That's one. And then 2, just venting about the Jets and just being pissed about preseason football is so dumb unless you make something out of it. And the fact that we're running smash concepts and vanilla defense because we're afraid that someone's going to out scout us for showing something in the preseason. Watch anyone watching, please go watch the highlights of the Bills until Josh Allen gets taken out of the game. It's a ton of play action. It's misdirection plays. It's long developing plays. And they chewed up the Panthers second, third stringers. But that's what they're supposed to do. They're starters and they're excellent at football. And they're we're gonna actually Frank Reich's offense is going to be installed on the first drive of week 1 of the NFL because we won't do it in the preseason because we're afraid people are going to scout us. It's so stupid. They just go out there and run these dumb. And then of course, yes, I agree, Jake. I was on your side 1,000% that let's get Brady cooking there. Give me a break. It's
just dumb. It's dumb. And Frankie's take was silly too about Klubnik challenging Gino. That was never going to happen. But Klubnik used to play a lot more. And if I'm Aaron Glenn, I wouldn't want him to be my only line of defense if something happens to Gino. But at this point, I think it's almost a foregone conclusion the way they've treated Klubnik all summer. He's going to be their backup quarterback week 1 against the Titans.
Yeah, and I be the backup, but there's got to be, and again, and the one thing that we learned, we knew Brady Cook was horrible. The one thing we learned was that Bailey Zappi cannot be the third stringer either. But like what people are forgetting, they're like, oh, like what's the point? And I'm like, we have like these guys like Garrett and Brees, and like we're trying to build a culture. And if the coaching staff is going to have a defeatist attitude, that if Geno goes down and Cade Klubnik obviously is a third day draft pick, like probably can't start 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 games this year. Like you can't expect that out of guys like anyone, even a first or second. Like Fernando Mendoza is not going to be starting week 1, and we're like okay with Cade Klubnik being, one hit away. Like we've done this before. We did this with Zach Wilson, made him 1 hit away, and then it ruined our chances of like doing anything good. I can't.
At least this year, there's no expectation. So if that scenario you described happened, it's either we have a quarterback or right, the tank is on, new coaching staff, top pick in the draft, and you're the most attractive opening in the NFL.
Yeah, and if that's all we can, I guess that's what we're looking for.
It sucks. I'm not going to say it's going to be an enjoyable watch for all of us, but at least there's light at the end of the tunnel in that scenario.
And it's more, even if Cade can be like, and again, a day 3 rookie quarterback.
Can he be Davis Mills? That's the comp for Cade Klubnik. 3rd round pick who's developed into a long-term backup. I watched him in Houston. He sucked as a rookie. He's gotten a lot better since then. He is a solid backup that saved the Texans season multiple times the last few years when C.J. Stroud's been injured. Like, that's what you hope Cade Klubnik can ideally be as a 4th-round pick.
I agree 100%. And the way to get him there is not forcing him to start week 4 against the Bears in Chicago after Geno gets rolled up on and he gets absolutely his confidence destroyed, the whole thing. Like, that's what I can't, like, even if he's the QB2, if Geno goes down like week 3 or 4, I would hope to God that they'd be like, Cade, blah, 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 like, make up an injury. Like, don't put him in. Like, please don't. Like, eventually, end of the season, it's over, whatever. It doesn't matter, but, like, we're going to kill this guy's confidence. And, we did it to Sam. It's just like we do all the same shit over and over again. It's so frustrating.
Hang in there, NYC. I got to run because I'm up against it here. I'm on the radio for my 3rd show of the day at the top of the hour. So let me squeeze in Peg and Artie. I know Artie's got a question. Artie, turn the speaker down. There we go. Artie's got a question for Joe Blewett. What's up, Artie? Artie?
Might be behind. I was gonna ask NYC restaurant guy. I don't know if you noticed, but the fire alarm was ripped out in the ceiling. I don't know if that was like a late night chirp. Oh, there we go.
Artie?
Hey, what's happening?
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I just got a question for Joe.
Oh God. You can see what's happening.
There's some feedback. You got it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I hear you fine.
The delay. Hey Artie, when you hear this in 5 seconds, smile, all right?
I will. Hey, but I can give you a quick question. Oh, do you see any signs from these players in rounds that you think they'll go forward and do better?
Jay, can you translate?
Try again, Artie. Sorry, man. I could not translate. I understand beast more than I understood whatever Artie was trying to say there.
Yeah, like Joe, late round 40. That's 40 late rounds. I couldn't hear anything.
Love you, Artie. Try again. Ladies and gentlemen, potentially our last call. Gary, 3D Boxing, let her rip.
What up, guys? What up? I had mostly for you, Joe. That last New York City restaurant guy call really pissed me off. First off, Cade Klubnik did more in college over his career than Mendoza does. Cade Klubnik is more NFL ready than Mendoza. You may think Mendoza has a higher upside, but Cade Klubnik is more NFL ready. He had a better college carear. That's factual. Mendoza started.
You think he had a better college career than a guy who won a Heisman and a national championship?
Yeah. You want to comp their numbers? You're not gonna like that game, Jake. If you comp out their numbers, comp out their win-loss, comp out their career, you're not going to like that game.
Why are we looking at numbers, though? Let's just look at their, who was more impactful. One was the first pick in the draft and won a national title.
You want to comp out their record? Or who led to more wins? You're not going to like this game, Jake.
But one went to Cal and then one went to Indiana. I am going to like this game. I think it's a ridiculous premise.
Okay, so Indiana was a playoff team before Mendoza ever stepped on the field, yes or no? Okay. What did you say? Indiana,
and Clemson was a powerhouse. And Clemson's been a powerhouse.
And they were a powerhouse with Clemson. They made the playoffs 2 years when he was there. You guys are so off about Cade Klubnik. If you like Mendoza better, that's fine. Cade Klubnik had a better college career. It's like saying who had a better college career, Pistol Pete or Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo had 1 season. Mendoza had 1 season. I don't care how good it was. It was fantastic.
He won the Heisman and a national title, though.
Yeah, how many good seasons? He played 3 college seasons. How many good ones did he have?
I think he was okay at Cal, and then he
was okay. Yeah, so he was. So you took a quarterback who was okay for most of his college career, number one overall. Cade Klubnik was excellent.
What was Joe Burrow before his last year at LSU? I don't understand.
He
your
didn't
point.
get a chance to play. He didn't get a chance to play. You can't knock him for that.
He played at LSU the previous year. He was okay.
He was good, but he didn't play at Ohio State, where he was there for like 4 years.
Right, and Mendoza went from Cal to then Indiana. So I'm not really sure what you're trying to argue here.
I thought my argument was my argument not clear that Cade Klubnik had a better college career than Mendoza.
So you think if you were going to draft quarterbacks, if you were the Raiders,
now you've changed the argument.
I'm asking you. I'm not trying to change. I'm not trying to argue with you, Gary. I think I don't understand what your point is.
That Cade Klubnik's more NFL ready than now. You may like Mendoza better, but Cade Klubnik is more NFL ready.
Joe, you watched both on film. Who's more NFL ready, Fernando Mendoza or Cade Klubnik?
I was thinking this would be a easy 5 minutes for me to end this one, but this isn't going to be that easy. I understand the point of Klubnik has done it for longer. Klubnik comes from a more pro style offense than Mendoza. Mendoza is more RPO. I get that, but the processing of Mendoza is at a different level. So I understand what you're trying to say, but I don't agree fully.
You don't disagree fully either, because that wasn't like a direct answer. That was kind of a politician answer right there. I'll be honest, officer.
Yeah. I think Mendoza's more ready. I think that Mendoza's Cal year was better than Klubnik's previous year, where he was supposed to be a first round pick. I watched Klubnik each of the last 2 years, and I wasn't super impressed.
The year before, Klubnik you're talking about his junior year? That was his best year. He had like 40 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, took Clemson to the playoffs when Clemson's team was doo-doo. That was his best year.
That's fine. All the stats, all that stuff, I think I put out maybe 100 plays of that season, so it's all out there.
Yeah, I encourage everyone to go look at Klubnik's junior year was by far his best season. By far.
Yeah, it was better than his senior season for sure. I think his junior year season looked like he was going to be like a second-ish round pick with the potential to become a first round pick. And then unfortunately injuries, a lot of players left. Clemson really, really sucked. So he went from like a high second, mid-second type of guy to a fourth round guy. But there was reasons he was being discussed as the number one overall prospect. That's undoubtable.
Let me ask you this question. After the 2024 seasons, so Klubnik's junior year and Mendoza's sophomore year, who would you have ranked higher?
Mendoza's sophomore year, you're talking about?
Yeah.
Transparently, I didn't watch this.
He was on nobody's radar. This is like, I'm not comparing him to Zach Wilson or Blake Bortles, but he just emerged out of nowhere. Whenever you see a quarterback just emerge out of nowhere, other than Joe Burrow, it doesn't work out. It never does. I'm not saying Mendoza's going to suck like those guys, but whenever you see a quarterback, the other quarterback that went to North Carolina, Mitch Trubisky, they just emerge out of nowhere and become a top overall pick. They never actually work out.
But Mendoza has the game started you look for. Like, that's the one thing you could point to with Klubnik. At least he started over 40 games. You know, when guys have less than 20 starts?
Mendoza started 40 games? There's no way he started. He started 2 seasons, right?
He started 2 at Cal and then 1 at Indiana. He's played 30-something.
He started as a true freshman?
I think it was like 30-plus games, right?
Okay. I mean, that's a lot. And most of those, he wasn't anything special. And I'm not saying he's not going to be
but neither was Cal as a program. Like, they were okay. Then he transferred, went to Indiana, and then he had like the Joe Burrow like rise. Worked out for
35
Burrow.
games.
Yeah, he started 35 career games.
Okay. So he started like 15-10 or 15-12 and then a bunch of games. Okay. All right. So yeah, he started most of his freshman year. All right, fair enough. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Thank you, Gary. All right, that's a perfect way to end it. Rick Kent, I see your super chat. I'm going to let Nick Shine cover that surprise on his show coming up. Joe Blewett, thanks for the abbreviated breakdown. You're the man, and I look forward to Jets Steelers recap with you next week.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. I might have to pivot to Sunday if we're able to, but we'll see. We'll see exactly what happens. But I'll see you guys next week, whatever time, for a film breakdown. Jake, good luck with your show with Samini and Tierney.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Joe Blewett, JetX. Check out his YouTube channel for all the breakdowns. Quick reminder, about 50 hats and T-shirts remain for our our Pain merch. Made hats and T-shirts. So appreciate everyone who's bought one so far. JakeAsman.com/shop. to get yours today. Big thanks to everyone who tuned in. Check out the interview with Q-Tip that's already up on the channel. And coming up in 8 minutes, if you're watching the show live, I'm going live with BT and Rich Cimini for the latest episode of the Jets Collective. Thanks to all the callers. Couldn't do it without you. Big thanks again to Joe Blewett for hopping on the show. Talk to you guys on the Jets Collective, and we're live with Omari Brown tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. Go Jets.
Is it true your toys come to life when you go to sleep?
Hey, who's this right here? And he tells it like it is.
Kill me! Please! Kill me!
Hey, Asmaniacs, make sure to hit the like button and keep on supporting the Jake Asman Show.
That's right, Beast. If you don't subscribe to Jake Asman Show, the Jets will never win another game. Go Jets!